Hey everybody, how you doing? Good morning for Friday. Oh, what is today? Friday the 3rd of March. It is March already. How's everybody doing? I'm trying to get stuff running again because I forgot what we were doing before. Was it out here? No, it's not out there. Package.json, right? So let me know if you cannot hear me or see me for whatever reason. I think you should be able to. So I want to do npm watch, right? Oh no, it's npm run watch. Haha, I can remember things. And then if I refresh this, I should now see the thing, right? What is up? What is up over here? Failed to reload a resource. Connection refused. Can you try it again? There we go. There we go. There we go. Stuff is up and working. All right. Awesome. So, good morning, everybody. I've got King Jordan. I got Dorian. I got Dorian again. I got Paz. I got Eternal Mist. I got Elias. I got Oscar. Oscar, you're coming in from Austria, huh? That's pretty cool. That's nice. Let's see. I feel like I need to raise my desk just slightly. Hold on a second. Maybe just a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, that feels better. All right. That feels like my camera's in a good spot. All right, cool. So we got a new layout. Thanks to one of the designers, one of the motion designers at Treehouse. So Ryan Creason, I don't think you watch this, but if you do, thanks for the nice new layout. We can put chat in. It's got my Twitter handle there if you need to see that for whatever reason. But yeah, so there's our stuff. So that's cool. Hey Mohammed, how are you doing? Mohammed Awad, nice to see you again. So today, I have to admit, I woke up this morning and I wasn't really feeling all that into doing React stuff. But I promised we would do this thing. I promised we'd build this thing. So we're going to build this thing as best we can. So yeah, y'all stick with me. Help me out when and where you can. And we will do as much as possible to get this thing built. Now, I had, oh, you're from Belarus. That's cool. I think that's the first time we've had someone from Belarus here. So welcome. So I want to do a thing. I want to do the form. So we have to do this form here, right? So I'm gonna have to ask for advice on this because I'm not really sure how to do this. So I've got this. Let's see, I don't need that open. I've got this thing here that I built by following a tutorial at Treehouse. Which, hey, got to use your own thing, and it has a form in it, right? So we have this this add player form, and I understand how this whole thing works. Like I've got this figured out. The problem I have is that this has a hard-coded thing here, and we have a hard-coded thing here. And the hard-coded submit, I think, is fine. I'm not really worried about that. My problem is that we have this, right? So this is hard-coded, and it's we don't necessarily want it to be hard-coded, right? Because we have, if we look at our model, yep, that one. We have these, 20-ish things here that they can pick from. And conceivably, we could change this set of things that they could pick from, right? Like maybe we go in and we decide there's something to put in between frustrated and overwhelmed, or between overwhelmed and disappointed, right? So we need a way, and I need to mute my thing there. I need a way to get this form data out that doesn't require me to... I don't want to write the form in Django and write the form in React. I want to write the form in one place. So let's do a bit of searching and just see if we can find like Django form React. Because I'm really not sure what we would want to do in order to not have to re-render that form, because I don't want to re-render. I don't want to recode the form. I don't want to code the form multiple times. Because if I go and update the form, then I have to go and update it in two places, right? I have to add the thing in Django, and I have to add the thing in React. I have a much smaller window now for being able to gesture at y'all. And if you've noticed, I like to talk with my hands. Hey, Creason, that is a great layout. I already thanked you for that on air, but thanks for showing up. Ryan Creason there down at the bottom, he just said nice layout. He's responsible for it. Also, if you noticed, I'll turn it on real quick. The countdown screen has the same pattern, and the goodbye screen has the same pattern, so everything looks all nice and professional and stuff now, which is just so weird for me. Okay, so yeah, so the idea is I want to have... I almost want just an empty form that I can toss into React, but I don't think I can do that. A couple things. Make sure to return a JSON-like object from the Django, and printing it inside a script tag that React will use. The form just need to be sent through a post request with the middleware token, and that's it. Yeah, I know it needs the middleware token. But it won't need the middleware token because we're sending to the API, and the API doesn't require middleware. Yeah. So how can I easily get that form out? Or I could just make... like, we could just make a new endpoint that just displays the conditions, right? So we have a new endpoint, and all it does is send out a list of the value and label conditions, and that's it. That's all it sends out. Do y'all agree with me that that sounds easier to do than anything else that I'm probably thinking about doing? Anybody hear that and think, oh, that's a terrible idea? I'll give y'all a minute or two to think it over. And while I'm doing that, I will say hello to Emerson from Brazil. How you doing? And we've got Abdallah Sharef from Saudi Arabia. So that's awesome. We got people from all over. I have a couple of friends that live in Brazil, or friends, acquaintances, people I know from the Python world. So that's cool having somebody else from there. I'd love to get down to Brazil at some point. Yeah, pause. I think it sounds reasonable. I don't know what else I would do. Like, I could embed the form in the page, right? Like I could inside of a script tag, I could like embed the form as some sort of data, and then I got to figure out a way to pull it out. Like, I don't know of a good way to do that. So I think it makes more sense to just have those conditions as an endpoint. So we're going to dive back into Python a little bit. We're going to leave JavaScript alone just for right now, just for a minute. We're going to go back to JavaScript, and we're going to see if we can figure out a way. That's commented out. Did I not need that? I guess I didn't need that. We're going to see if we can figure out a way to do this. So let's open up Django REST framework.org. Hey, IT Dream, how are you doing? I'm your teacher on Treehouse, huh? That's cool. Welcome to the live stream. Very happy to have you here. Okay, so I want a view. I just want like a really generic view. I don't want the view to even do anything. I just want like generic API view. Right? Like it shouldn't do anything. It just sends out data that I ask for. From Nepal. Wow, that is not a location I expected to have somebody watching from. Welcome to the show. To the show. I say that like it's some sort of like amazing special show. Welcome to the stream. That's pretty cool. It's midnight. Well, I'm sorry it's so late for you. Hopefully you don't have anything you have to get up and do early tomorrow morning. Because I know that can be really rough. Okay, so then we've got renderers. We don't need to set up any sort of special renderer. We want JSON just like normal. Yeah, that's all. We just want JSON. Okay. So let's see, serializers. We might have to do a serializer. All right, let's just start trying to do this. Let's just give it a shot. Okay, so API view is just like okay. So let's just add this. This isn't a view set, but I don't have a better place to put this, so I'm just going to put it here. So conditions view, and I want to do API view. All right. Up here at the top, I need to let's see. Can you do this import for me? Yeah, sweet. Good job. Okay, so I've got this API view. Oh, we got somebody else from Nepal and somebody from India. Awesome. Y'all are up late. Inchik? Sorry if I got that name wrong. We're building a very large project. We've been building this for weeks now. So it's a Django web app that only does one thing. It's super simple. It's a Django web app that you sign up for, and then you can record how you're feeling for a day, for an hour, for whatever. And so it's a really simple idea, right? But we've built the site. We've also built an API for it, and now we're building a slightly fancier front end for one page using some React stuff. But we found that we got a thing we got to build back on the API as well. And then eventually, likely next week, if not maybe the week after, we're going to start building an Android app that ties into all this. And then I think once we get the Android app done, I am going to stop doing large projects like this for a little while. This one has been this has been a lot. This has been a lot of stuff, a lot more than I expected. I've enjoyed building it, but I will not be sad to start a new thing. So on that, y'all should start giving me ideas for what to build when this project is all over. Because I want to build stuff. Okay, so we've got this view, right? I've got this basic view. I want the regular authentication. I want the regular permissions. So I'm just going to try doing def get self. It takes request and format. Okay. And at the end, I need to do return response with whatever it is that I'm returning. So, what do I want to import? Or what do I need to return? So what I need to do is I need to go to models and conditions. Really, I just need to return conditions. All right, so let's see if I can do that. So let's come up here and say from .models import conditions. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a list of dictionaries, and we'll have a key that is value, and that'll be c dot well, we can call this whatever we want. So that'll be c dot value, and then we'll have label, which will be c dot label for value comma label in conditions. All right, let's drop that like that. Yeah, I don't need the C. I just need that, yeah. And then we'll return conditions. Alrighty. So there's that view. We don't need a serializer because we're not serializing like data things. We do need a URL, but probably not there. We probably want that in our router. Yeah. Okay, so then we'd want to do router.register something. How do we register this? Let's see. Generic views. That's not what I'm looking for. What am I looking for? Serializers. That's not what I'm looking for. API guide. Routers. There's what I want. Okay, so I can do that to a view set. Can I do it to just a view? Yeah? Let's just try it. So conditions view sets dot conditions view base name equals conditions. I think that's right. Okay, so let's try this. So we should be able to go to 127/API and all it exposes is users. Okay, let's restart the server. Y'all ever have a thing where PyCharm like refuses to run? Yeah, what are you doing? Do I have Python running somewhere and it couldn't quit it before? I don't see Python. Okay. There we go. All right. Refresh that. No, that's it. Okay, so if I go to conditions, nothing. Okay. So I can see thoughts is registered there. I can see users is registered there. But that's it. I can't see conditions anywhere else. Okay. So that's default router. That's what I was looking at over here, right? Default router. This router is similar to simple routers above, but addition includes a default API root view that returns a response containing hyperlinks to all the list views. It also generates routes for additional JSON style formatting. Okay. Okay, not there. It was in here, right? Thought routers is here. .router.url. URLs. I would have assumed that that would do that. Did that not do that? Okay, that's the viewSet class. I don't have a viewSet class, though. I just have a view. Okay. Everything here is listed as like view sets. I want to do this without a view set. I want to do this with just a view. Can I do it with just a view? Weird. Okay. There has to be a way, right? There has to be a way to register these so that they work. Am I missing something? IT Dream, did I go to college to become a programmer? No, I didn't actually. I went to college to be a designer, and I don't use my design skills at all anymore. I wonder if I don't do it like this. I wonder if I just go straight to that view in URLs. Let's try that. Let's try doing URL API / conditions, and I want that to go to ThoughtRouters.viewSets. Oh, this is a horrible way to do it. Okay, so ThoughtRouters. Oh no, not .viewSets, just ThoughtRouters. Yeah, ThoughtRouters.viewSets.conditionsView. .conditionsView.asView. All right, and I'm not going to put a name on that one just yet. Okay, so that restarts the server. And if I go here, cannot apply Django model permissions to a view that does not set .querySet or have a .getQuerySet method. Okay. Progress. Right? Progress. All right. So, we can't do Django model permissions if it doesn't have QuerySet or getQuerySet. Okay, cool. So let's do that. Let's do def getQuerySet return self.request.user.thoughts.none. Check it out. There we go. We got them. Okay. Sweet. All of that worked just for that. Now, I don't know that doing the query set permissions on this, the model permissions, is actually the right way to do it, but I think it is. It makes the most sense to me, right? So, so cool. So we got that. All right. So now, let's go the other way and get into the stuff that I'm not. Oh, wait. I want to take that thing out of routers. I want to take that out. And really, I should change that one. I should say from thoughts.viewSets import conditions view. And then this should just be conditionsView.asView. And then this should still work. Yep, still works. Sweet. That restarted? Yeah. Okay. So that's nicer. That's much better. Okay, so now I'm going to close that one. I'm going to close that one for now, too. Come over here. And is this where we were doing all the stuff last week? Or was that in this one? It was in this one. This one. All right. So IT Dream says, how did I learn to code? So I learned in a somewhat weird roundabout sort of way. I was getting my design degree, and as part of my design degree, I had to do an internship. And so I did an internship for the college that I was going to. Now, before this, I had done HTML, CSS, JavaScript, ActionScript. What was the language that Director used? Oh, I can't remember. It was the precursor to ActionScript. So I'd used several different programming languages, but they were more front-end or interactive languages, like you would use for JavaScript or for Flash. So I'd done quite a bit of that. So my internship, I was working for the school, and the school's web stuff was all done on PHP. So since I was working for the web department, I had to learn PHP, but it was like super basic PHP, like import this thing we've already built and then generate a website plugging in these little PHP functions, right? At that same time, I was looking for stuff to do online, and I was helping a company, or not company, a group of people that wanted to make a video game. They wanted to build a game on online, and they were using PHP for it. They were building a role-playing game, and they needed somebody to do tile art because it was a like 16-bit video game. So I was like, cool, I'll help with tile art. I'm an artist. I can do art. And I was like, okay, cool. I need a way to make sure that my tiles line up, because the tiles weren't next to each other. They were offset. So half of each tile would line up with, right? And so they gave me like a PHP script to lay out the page with whatever tiles I needed. So, I was like, this is cool. I should play with this some more. And I picked up a couple of PHP books that I don't think I still have. And I taught myself PHP. And from that point on, I was like, design is stupid. I want to do programming instead. And design's not stupid. Design is awesome. But I didn't realize that. So yeah, that was how I got there. So yeah, I hope that explains enough. Okay, so now I'm trying to remember what it was that I was doing last time. So there we go. So we've got this recent thoughts thing, and we've got this form here thing, and oh god, I don't want to break this stuff, but I'm wondering if I shouldn't move a chunk of this out to somewhere else, right? Because I've got this component did mount thing here that goes and fetches the data, and I'm wondering if I shouldn't move that to an outside thing so that this stuff can communicate with each other. But let's not worry about that right now. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to basically take all of this, and I'm going to put it into a new file, and we're going to call this thoughtform.jsx, and we're going to paste all of that in. Okay. So ThoughtForm now does all the same stuff that recent thoughts does, and we are going to do this here, and we're going to say ThoughtForm, and up here we are going to copy this line, and we're going to paste in ThoughtForm from ThoughtForm. Okay, so if I refresh this, I should have 2 copies of the form. Or of the thing. Or I should have nothing because that's the way programming works. What's up? No? Console. Something is complaining. Element type is invalid. Expected a string or a class function, but got undefined. You likely forgot to export your component from the file list defined in. Check the render method of root element. ThoughtForm. Oh, because I didn't call this ThoughtForm. That's it. So I'm there we go. Okay, so 2 copies of the same thing. I don't want 2 copies of the same thing. I want one side to be the recent thoughts and the other side to be the how are you feeling form, right? But we got to get there. That's not the thing that we're necessarily going to do right away. Okay, so first off, let's rename this to be ThoughtForm. And then change this to be ThoughtForm. Form, not form. And then let's change this here to be how are you feeling? And then refresh this and see what we get. Boom, we got how are you feeling. All right, cool. So now, sorry, got a slightly itchy face there. So now I'm going to bring this over here to my other screen. So y'all are going to see me looking over this way a lot. So I need to figure out how I'm going to do my form here. So let's do form. And I'm not going to put in an onSubmit right now. And I need to do like this .state.conditions.map condition. And then this is what I'm going to do with each condition. So I want to do like, I don't need to render a new thing. I'll just do an input. Actually, wait. We need select name equals, let's see what this one's called. Name equals condition. Cool. And we don't actually need anything else there. It does have a required in there. Okay. So that's our select. And then inside there, we need options, not inputs. We need option. And we need to have value equals. And then this is where we're going to paste in something. So we're going to paste in condition.value. And then here we're going to do condition.label. All right, cool. So now I'm going to delete that. There's my form, and I should probably have an input. Input type equals submit. Value equals record. And class name equals btn default. Okay, cool. So that's going to fail at the moment because we don't have this state.conditions thing. So let's just change this, and here we'll say conditions is nothing. And if I refresh this, we get that. Oh, input needs to close itself. Cool. So we've got a thing. It's not doing anything that we want, but we got a thing. Okay, so let's see. This select has, okay, so the select should have a class name on it. That is form control. All right. So there's that. And then if we want, we can add, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. No, I need this one. And then we could add this blank thing here. So let's do that. Let's do option value equals nothing. Selected. And we'll just put some hyphens. And then we'll turn off the option there. And now if we check that, we've got a first one that looks like that. So cool. Nice. Thank you. All right. So first inside there, though, we have this div class form group. So let's add that in. And I'm going to bet you there is a thing somewhere that does like Bootstrap for React. I just don't know where it is or what it is. So I'm just not worried about it for right now. Okay. So don't go like, oh, Kenneth, you didn't do the thing. Because I know I didn't do the thing because I didn't know what the thing was. Okay, so class name equals control label for ID condition. Okay, and then let's indent all of that. Close that div, and then div class name equals form group. And then close that div. All right, let's see how that looks. That looks pretty good. That looks about like that one does, right? I know I'm missing the notes, but it looks about the same, right? Okay. So now let's get those conditions to show up. So the way that we want to do that, and I don't think we need that thing. So I'm going to delete that. Okay, so blah, 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 blah. So this should be conditions. And conditions. And console. HTML4? Sure. Is that what I meant? Okay, and then okay, let's take off this selected thing. Okay, so now it's complaining about the conditions thing not being found, and I could have swore we put that in. Didn't we put that in? Oh, it's just conditions slash? Okay, let's see if we can make this conditions JSON thing work. So that would be in here, and we take that off. And now that works. Okay. Let's refresh this. There they all are. Oh, how amazing. But we don't have the key property, so that's cool. We'll get the key property back. Okay, so where are we at? Here we are. Okay, so let's add. We've got that URLs. Let's pop open view sets. And let's see. I want an ID in here. So I'm just going to do this. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. So let's do enumerate. that, and that's going to give us index and condition. So we'll do condition 0, and we'll do condition 1, and we'll do ID equals index. Actually, let's call that key. And then over here on this one, we need to copy that key thing. Because we had a thing here, right, where we did key equals that. So let's do that here. Key equals condition.key. And let's see if that makes it happy. Encountered 2 children with the same key. Did you? Can you show me the data? Okay. Let's restart that server then. There we go. And it's still getting some that are conflicting, huh? It's looking like there's a different key in there to me. What's up with that? Hey there, in a Clasher, how are you doing? I don't see how there's not a key in there. Okay, was that it? It just needed to not be in quotes? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to say that I'm like angry, and then I could click record, and that will currently not do anything. So we need to handle that. But first, let's get the notes in there. And I remember the notes thing, we had to do something kind of weird in the other one that I did. Okay, so let's see about getting in notes. So first off, new div with a class name of form group, and a label with a class name of control label, and HTML4 is going to be equal to ID notes, and then let's say notes, and we'll put in like optional, and then we'll do text area, ID equals ID notes, name equals notes, and we'll say class name is equal to form control, and then close that div. Okay, so notes, there it shows up, and we can type stuff. Cool. Okay, so when I submit this form, I want to run a function. So I'm going to say on submit equals this dot on submit. And then let's make a function up here called on submit. And this is going to do stuff. So that'll take an event. And let's prevent the default. Because we don't want to actually submit the form to wherever. At this point, it wouldn't go anywhere, but we don't want to actually do that. And I actually want to do... Let's do console.log e, and let's see what comes out. So that means I need to have the console open. And console, there we go. And I'm going to choose worried, and this might not work. And I'm going to hit record. Okay, so now I got this thing. And so I've got handler is this thing, and we set, and then we got whatever stuff we set, okay? And then we've got target, which is the target, okay? Okay, and then is revoked false. Okay, so I think what I want to do is I think I want to add a thing that handles when stuff changes. So let's do this, and let's do chosen condition is null, and notes is null. Okay, so right now there's no notes and there's no chosen condition, and that's the way it is when it's set. And then I want to have a thing on here, which is on change equals this dot on condition change. Okay, so let's create that function. I'm going to put a little bit of room in here because I don't know about y'all, but I can't read stuff when it's right next to each other. Too many years of doing Python. On condition change, and that would also take an event. Ahmed says, why use component did mount instead of just the constructor? Because component did mount is once the thing is actually like ready to be displayed, as opposed to when it is just initially constructed. I could do it inside here as I understand it, but this is supposedly cleaner. I could be wrong. I'm not. I do not know. I do not know React very well. So this dot set state, and what did I call that up here? Chosen condition. Should be e.target.value. All right, so let's check that out. Let's see if that worked. I have a feeling this may not be defined there. So inspect, let's hop over here to React, and I want to look at ThoughtForm because I want to look at state here. Okay, so board. Nope, that didn't work. Okay. So I'm going to bet that it doesn't know what this is. Yep, doesn't know what this is. Okay. So let this equal this. And then we do this. Right? And then we change that to like happy. And that's still wrong. That's still wrong. So it still doesn't know what set state is. Okay. So what was it that... ES 2015 arrow functions. Because James was telling me about this last week, and he was telling me that you can do... okay, but I need to see how to do that as a function that has a name. That was it. Right, okay. So I could do like var on condition change, and then those arguments, and then... Right, okay. So then we shouldn't have to have that. Let's make sure that compiled. That failed. Doesn't like the var. That failed. But you're supposed to know how to do 2015 stuff. See, kids, this is why we can't have nice things in JavaScript, because JavaScript is just weird. Do I have to convert all of these? No, I shouldn't have to convert all of them, right? It's got the 2015 in there. All right, let's... Okay, so... That compiles. Ooh. Sorry, I'm just... Python. Or JavaScript, I mean. Alright, so we changed that. Undefined, undefined. They're both undefined. The problem. What's the problem, Ahmed? The problem is that I need to be able to do this dot set state to reference, you know, this, the ThoughtForm, this. And inside of here, I don't have this. Because JavaScript. I don't know. JavaScript methods are not JavaScript methods are functions, but functions in JavaScript are variables. They're a anonymous code construct that's bound to a variable name, just like they are in Python. Yeah, and yeah, Ahmed, every language has its own quirks. There's nothing special about JavaScript being weird. Every language is weird. It's just upsetting because of trying to do something that should be very, very simple. I mean, right here, right? We're able to do these very simple things. So this right here should be able to do that as well. So let's look at React component. And yeah, I should be using the arrow construct, but when I do the arrow construct, it breaks. So I don't want to do the arrow thing. So let's see. Render is required. Constructor does whatever constructor does. Let's look for React component arrow function. Let's see what that finds. What time is it? It is 5 till 11. So we still got about an hour, y'all. Okay, so try this code. See, all they're doing here, this is their constructor, right? So they've got this constant thing here. Classrooms override. This is their constructor. Because they're building a component here. babbljs.io/REPL. Okay. Oh, we can turn on ES 2016. Maybe that's what I need to do. So what I should be able to do here is like that, and then like that. And I shouldn't need that. Right? Put that in the Babel RC file. What do you think I need, Ahmed? I mean, you've caught my attention. You seem to know what you're talking about. Stage 2. What is stage 2? Things aren't working using stage 2. Okay. Stage 2, not mentioned in there. Okay. So then I'd need to install the Babel preset stage 2. Okay, well, I'm happy to give that a try. So, yep, terminate that batch job. Is my package JSON there? It is. Okay, install save dev Babel preset stage 2. Igor, I will try that in a minute if this thing doesn't work. Or if this fails completely, I suppose. Okay, so then let's pop open the Babel or not Babel, the Webpack. Webpack config. And let's try putting in stage 2. And then let's run that again. Okay, compiled successfully. That's cool. Parse query. Okay, I don't care about that. Okay, so now we should be able to change this back to that. And this thing should not fail to compile. Save. What are you doing? You're not doing anything. You're not working. Come on. Okay, there. That time did it compile? Okay. So now, let's go over here to React. Let's go to this. Okay, chosen condition is null. Nothing. Console. Cannot read property set state of undefined. Okay. So that should go out. Is there a timestamp on this that y'all can see? There is not. There's not a timestamp on there. I really wish there was a timestamp on there. Okay, so refresh this. Okay, it loads. React, root element, ThoughtForm, chosen conditions null. Hey, check that out. It changed to condition.value. Okay, so that's closer. That's closer. Okay, so I don't want these to say, I don't want that to be in quotes. I want it to be outside of quotes. So now let's try changing this to disappointed. Let's refresh. The React stuff takes a little while to pop up. Vedran and Akash, nice to see both of you again as well. Glad you're here. Okay, we gonna load. Yeah, thank you, Ahmed, for that idea. That worked really well. What are we doing? What are we doing, yo? What is taking so long? Let's kill this and start that over again. Something there is getting hung up. Cause yeah, that was ridiculous. Okay, so refresh, and actually I want to inspect, and I want to go to React, and I want to go to ThoughtForm. Chosen condition is null, which is true. 60. All right, that is what I want. I want 60. Okay, so now we got 1. Now let's get the text area one here to work as well. XML tag has empty body. Yes, it does. It most certainly does. So what we'll do here is let's do this.state.notes. If there are any notes. Let's refresh that, see if anything comes up. It doesn't. That doesn't do anything. Okay. So now on here, let's do an on change. And that'll be this dot on notes change. And hey, y'all know what? That means we should be able to swap this out for an arrow function. And we should be able to take out that and go back to that, and that should still work. Okay, but let's choose this on notes change and arrow function. And let's say, what do we want to do here? I want to say this dot set state notes to e.target.value. Right? Because I want to just leave that alone. I don't want anything to happen there. I want it to be just left alone and to just do the thing it's supposed to do. Okay, so chosen condition is null. Conditions, it didn't get anything. Oh no. Oh no, what happened? Cannot read property set state of undefined. Is it because of the fetch? Is that it? And so it's inside the fetch and thinks that that's the thing? Is that what it's doing? That must be what it's doing. Okay, JavaScript is getting easier. I am definitely worried about that. Okay, cool. So my chosen condition is 50, and my notes are JavaScript's getting easier. The state is updated. All right, so thank you again, Ahmed, because you got that working, and that is much nicer now. Okay, so now let's see about doing the posting this to the API. Okay, so I need to look up. I know I can do fetch to get stuff, but can I use fetch to post stuff? Or is fetch only for fetch? Nope, there's post. Okay, sweet. So down here in onSubmit, I want to do fetch. And my URL is going to be /API/thoughts.json. And credentials will be same origin. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so then we say method is post body JSON.stringify data. So I don't want to do data. I want to do this dot state. Right? Yeah. Yeah, this dot state. Yeah, because I want to pull out the state. Which means I probably have to do like let this equal this. And I probably have to do this. Okay. And then headers, let's send that content type is application JSON. Oops. Credentials, okay. So let's do that. And so that's going to do all of that. So we'll do a then. And then this is going to be response. And let's just do console.log response. Okay. What we really need to do is we really need to push a state update further up the tree so that it goes up to the thing that's drawing both of those and it immediately updates the conditions thing on the side. But let's get to that later. Okay, let's see if this works. What are the odds? I'm gonna pause for a second. Y'all give me odds. How likely do you think it is that this is going to work? Let's say 50-50, 70-30. What do you think the odds are that this works? Okay, I'm gonna refresh. Here's my thing. And right now it is fear. Not looking forward to moving the state further up the chain. Can I read property state of null? Cool. Thanks. That's kind of what I figured. All right. Oh, wait. I need to do this. Right? Okay. Let's try that again. Oscar predicted 50%. That's a good one there. Okay, so that got me ThoughtForm. Okay, and then I got a 403 forbidden when I tried to post to there. Did I get any sort of data back in that 403 forbidden? Body is a readable stream. Could we read the body? What if I try to go to that URL? No, that's not what I wanted. Okay. Bop. And one of these is XHR, and it's that one. CSRF failed. CSRF token missing or incorrect. That is true. There is not a CSRF token in there. So how do I get a CSRF token in there? Do I have to have a CSRF token? When I'm dealing with JSON? So I can mark it as CSRF exempt, but that's a bad idea. AJAX requests that are made within the same context API they are interacting with typically use session authentication. You have to have a valid CSRF. Okay, so I gotta have a CSRF token in there. So Django CSRF React. Okay, so the value of the token is stored in a variable called CSRF token. I can set headers, which that all makes sense. The only cookie I have is a CSRF token I put in the Django template. Okay, so let's see about fetch Django CSRF. And that may have to be like fetch.js. Yeah, I have that set to same origin. Let's see if we can see the request that was made. Probably not. Okay, so let's try this. Okay, so here's the request that was made. Cookies. The CSRF token was in there, but it wasn't in the response cookies. Okay. Headers. Oh, and that should be condition, not chosen condition. Let's see. I can do... Data view. What is data view? That's some other thing there. Array buffer? Okay, I saw somebody had a thing where they were doing a thing. So let's open that one up. Let's open that one up. Okay, so body, they're doing stuff like that. Okay, so that's what I want to do. I want to do body is json.stringify, and then I want to put in the body myself. Let's actually do it like that. Like that. Take that out. Take that out. Okay, so I want to say that its condition ID is this dot state dot chosen condition, right? Because, yeah, because that's just that value. And then notes is this dot state dot notes, and that's it. That is all I want to send back if I can help it. Now I'm probably going to have to send back the other thing too, the CSRF token, but we'll get to that in a minute. Yep, that's still 403 forbidden, and CSRF failed, CSRF token missing or incorrect. But if I look at the data that was sent, I got the condition ID and I got the notes. Cool, so I just need the CSRF token. And I could have swore that they didn't require that when you were doing Use the same authentication policy. Also determine if you need CSRF tokens or cores. AJAX requests that are made within the same context as the API they're interacting with typically will use session authentication. Okay, so that's cool. That's fine. If you're using session authentication, you'll need to include valid CSRF. That and that. If I'm logged in as the user, I don't have an easy way of getting the user's token. All right, let's see if we can just find a way to do the CSRF thing. Because people were still suggesting doing this like... Okay, so we would have this... We'd have this header, right? So we should see like... We have that one. We don't have the X. X frame options, we have same origin. Okay, fetch. How do we handle headers? I wonder if we should use Axios instead of fetch. But I don't know. What do y'all think? Let's hear from chat. Chat has been very quiet for the past 10 minutes. Let's hear from chat if you think we should switch over to Axios or if we should keep trying to figure out how to make fetch do this. That one's not useful. So Django REST framework CSRF fetch. That's that one that we already did. Okay, there's that one. Credentials include? Hey, Dark Dev, how are you doing? We are getting much closer than we were before, but we are still not working yet. Still getting CSRF failed. Okay. Request headers. I sent the CSRF token as a header, but it wasn't in the request payload, so it's unhappy. Still doing Django? Yep. Still working on stuff like we did before. But trying to figure out how to get fetch and Django REST framework to play nicely with each other. So far, they're not doing that. Because, you know, computers. All right. Okay. Credentials are set to include. Methods post. I'm thinking that this thing is the problem. I need to do that XCSRF thing. I'm doing well, Dark Dev. Other than, you know, fighting with stuff. So let's see if we can figure out how to do the where was it? So I don't want to use jQuery if I can help it. So let's look at this JavaScript cookie library. Yay, one more thing to add. Okay, so I can install that with JS cookie. So let's do that. Yep, go ahead. So npm install save JS cookie. JS cookie. All right. You're not interested in learning Django. Well, that's cool. You don't have to. You don't have to be interested in learning Django. You can still hang out if you want. Flamer, we are still working on this large project that we've been working on for a while now. It unfortunately is not going quickly. So yeah, it's yeah. It'd be nice if it was going faster than it is. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. But it's going, and that's really all that matters at the moment. Is that it's going. All right, so now I'll need to include that cookies, right? That's not what I wanted. Useful wiki. That's a nice feature. Okay, so let's just do import cookies from JS cookie. Does that compile? Looks like it does. Do we see JS cookie in here anywhere? I don't see JS cookie. Let's try that again. I got React. Okay, I got stuff. Okay, so let's see. Let's just try this. Inside here, let's do console.log cookies.get CSRF token. Right, and that should work. I should see a cookie pop up in the console when I refresh the thing. Right? Kyle, I do stream on Twitch. This is currently going out live right now to YouTube, Twitch, and Beam. All three of those. So any of those that you would like to check out, go for it. They all work. Okay, so that did not work. That didn't work. Okay, so let's just try import JS cookie. And then see if I can do cookies.get. There's fetch. I still don't see cookies, but whatever. Okay, refresh. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Twitch. Twitch is just like way too slow. But you know, whatever. It's fine. Cookies is not defined. Yeah, I didn't feel like it would be. JS cookie import. Beam, I'm a really big fan of. All right, let's see. I see a couple people here. So that'll do cookie.load. Okay, cool. We haven't tested the library with any ES6 feature yet. Feel free to create a pull request. You can still fake it by doing import star as cookies. Okay, let's try that. Import star as cookies from JS cookie. Let's see what that does. I have a feeling it's not going to do anything, but let's see. All right, content. Hey, check it out. I got a cookie. Oh my god, I got a cookie. And I was like, this isn't gonna work. There's no way this is gonna work. It worked. It totally worked. All right. So then here we would do CSRF token. Cookies.get CSRF token. Cool. So blah 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 blah. Record. I got a 403 forbidden again. Why did I get a forbidden that time? Did we send the cookie? No, we didn't send the cookie. Okay, it needs to be refreshed before it sends the cookie. Can those who watch you on Twitch still see our chat, like the same chat? Yes, yes, they can. All of the chat is, well, okay. They can see you on the stream. They can't see you in the chat on Twitch, right? Like you don't show up in the chat on Twitch, but you show up on the stream. So if they're reading the chat on the stream for whatever reason, then they will see you there. I passed in the CSRF token. Why did that fail? So I feel like now I need to do the thing where, right, somebody had this thing. So I wonder if that should be there. I should develop a Discord, Twitch, YouTube, and Beam bot. What would that do, Kyle? What's your idea there? I'm happy to try that, but CSRF equal, let's see, let's do let CSRF equal cookies.get CSRF token. Okay, and so inside here we'll say CSRF, but then it looks like we should add something here, x dash CSRF token. Oh, sorry, token. Because you gotta be weird there. Like that? Will that do it? Let's try. Let's find out. A point system, gameable points. Yeah, maybe. I could see that. It's an interesting idea. Still getting a 403. Is it the same one? It's the same one. Okay, what did we send? What did we send in the request? We sent Cookie has the CSRF token. And we send X CSRF token. And is that the same as that one? 2A98ILJ. Yeah, that's the same one. Okay. So I sent the CSRF token. Right? The header name is http _x_CSRF token. All right. Maybe that was my problem. Do a Unity C# tutorial. A lot more to talk about. I can even help you get stuck on something. Maybe in a week or two. Sure. That's fine with me. Why is that header getting lowercased? But the CSRF token is right there. Oh, but that's supposed to be CSRF middleware. Oh, what is the thing that it expects? It expects set a custom x-CSRF token header to the value of the CSRF token. But we'll figure out that thing in a minute. But the body on that's supposed to have a name like, what is it? It's like CSRF middleware. I forget what the name of that field is. Excuse me. I'm gonna just go look at the API and find out what that name is. So API/thoughts. And let's look here at this form. And somewhere in this form, CSRF middleware token. Let's try that. CSRF middleware token is that. All right. So now let's refresh this. $400. All right, well, that's better. That is better. Condition, this field is required. Notes, this field may not be null. User, this field is required. All right, so that should just be condition. Notes is equal to that, or empty string. And user. How am I going to send that user through? I don't want to send that user through. I want it to just be automatically saved to the user that comes in. So we need to change that. Why did we comment that out? Shouldn't we have had that Was that on the serializer? Yeah, let's make... I saved this, right? Okay. We got a 201! All right, so if I refresh, there should now be a frustrated one over on the left. Bam! Check that out. All right, let's try another one with a note. Happy, this seems to be working. And that went through. And refresh. Bam! Check that out, y'all. We've got... It's updating. All right. Sweet, it's updating. Oh, man. All right. I want this to work without the CSRF middleware token in the body. It should work through the headers. And I don't know why it's not. So, what could be causing that, and or how could we fix that? Because yeah, it should read from that header. Do I still have this on include? I'm going to change this to same origin. And yeah, we're kind of going back in time here for a second because we're potentially going to get things now that don't work that did work just a second ago. Which is fun, right? All right. That gave me a 201. I changed it to same origin. Okay. Let's take that out. This is not going to... I am almost positive this is not going to work. And I don't worry about what's coming in here. I'm just putting in random stuff. That did a 201 as well. Did that... What was in the body of that? That was just condition and notes. There was no CSRF token in there. It just came through in the header. And that worked. Okay, well that's what I want. Cool. Okay, so we got that working. Let's commit all of this because that's a lot of stuff to commit. ThoughtForm works. Commit. And let's see, can I do push from my version controller here? See if the push works. Yeah, the push works. All right, cool. So those of you who are following along at home, you can update that if you want. Do whatever you want there. Okay, so the thing I need to do here is I need to do this dot. I shouldn't have to do underscore this. Yeah, I don't have to do that. I can just do this. So I can actually get rid of this line. Okay. This dot set state, and we're gonna set chosen condition to null and notes to null. So now, if we refresh this, okay, set that to that, hit that. Nothing? Cool. 400, bad request. Condition, this field may not be null. If... Oh, where's those docs? There's the docs. If response.ok. Okay. If response.ok. Then that. Otherwise, I don't really want you to do anything. Kind of want you to just sit there and not do anything. All right, so let's try that. All right, so bop, bop, bop. That gave it 200, but that did not set those conditions. It didn't reset the condition to nothing. Well, actually, I say that. Let's look at that real quick. Let's come over here to React, and let's look at ThoughtForm. So they're both set to null. So how can I set that one? All right, let's see. Let's clear up some tabs real quick. We don't need all of these things open. That one's probably good. That one we don't need. That one we don't need. That one we don't need. Okay, so React select the best I can think of right there. A select control selecting selected on selected select option. Okay, cool. Dark Dev, I have not participated in the Ludum Dare or Ludum. I don't know if it's Ludum or Ludum. I've not participated in that. No. It looks cool. It looks really neat. But I haven't done that yet. Oh man, I'm kind of wanting to just do that. Okay. So it looks like we can do this. Looks like we can come down here to our option. Okay, there we are. That's inside the option. And we can do selected equals... what is options state? Where did that come from for them? Okay, so we can just do like this dot state dot chosen condition is equal to condition dot value. Okay. So still renders. Everything's happy. Right? Okay. So I'm going to choose, say, worried. Cool. And now if I inspect this... Okay, whatever. Where? Haha, that goes back to there. Cool. And then worried appears over there. Okay, great. Why your fetch is always showing null? I think it's not returning the response. Yeah, I don't return response from here. I can just do that, but I don't really care about the response. So, but you know, it doesn't hurt to do that. Okay, so not excited about this next part. Clear select once submitted. So what I need to do, and I got a whopping 12 minutes to do this, so we'll find out if this works or not. What I need to do is I need to... Okay, so we have this one thing, which is not there, which is here. Okay, so we have this one thing here that renders these two bits, right? We have recent thoughts and we have ThoughtForm. We have these two things. And ready, set, go. Yeah, pause. And in there, no, Dark Dev, I'm not planning to participate in the Ludum Dare. Ludum Dare. I probably should, but I'm not planning to at the moment. So sorry, I'm trying to read through something I've got over here. That does that. All right, you know what? I'm not gonna even try this with 10 minutes left, because it's not gonna go anywhere. So let's do questions if y'all have questions, or whatever, and we'll talk about this as soon as possible. We'll start doing this stuff, but I may just do this on my own in between weeks. So Ludum Dare, I would love to do. Let's see. Let's open that up. Wow. Wow. I misspelled that horribly. So there is a Ludum Dare coming up. Ludum Dare 38th is going to be the end of April. I maybe I will. We'll see. Maybe I'll play with that. But what Ludum Dare is, and it's pretty cool, is it's a game jam. So basically you have a team of people and you build a game as part of Ludum Dare. You spend a weekend and you do your best to build a working game. So I've been looking at a little library called Love 2D. I absolutely adore their design. It's just amazing. And people have built some pretty cool games using Love 2D. So I've been wanting to play with it. And I could see doing a Ludum Dare to play with Love 2D, but I can't promise that I would make like a working game during the weekend. Or that I even actually have an idea for a game. So that's a challenge, right? But I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll do that. It could be fun to do like a live stream of a Ludum Dare. I'd love to get Nick, one of the Treehouse teachers who does VR development and game development. I'd love to get him doing it, but I don't know if he's interested or not. So, I don't know. If y'all really, really wanted a Ludum Dare from me, I might do it. Well, Dark Dev. Okay, I'm sure Nick knows what Ludum Dare is. I don't know if Nick cares to participate in Ludum Dare. Is kind of what I was getting at. Not like, oh, he doesn't know what the thing is. I know something that he doesn't know. Just I don't know if he is interested in competing in it. So yeah, I don't know. It's a cool idea. It's neat. I don't know. My friend Owen does. He's been playing around with a library in Rust called GGEZ. Yeah, which is a Rust library for making games. I don't know anything about Rust. I don't know anything about Lua. Well, I learned a little bit of Lua. Lua's weird, y'all. If y'all haven't looked at Lua, it's really neat, but go look at it. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. It would be interesting to do Ludum Dare. I could see doing that as a... Like, if I did it that week as this live stream, I'd probably skip the live stream for the next week or two, just because I'd be really tired of being on camera and talking. But we'll see. I'll talk to some friends, and I'll see if anybody's interested in doing it, and seeing what I could provide to someone. I've done dev jam, hackathon kind of things before. I actually don't usually stay up super late dark dev. I usually get as much sleep as possible, because that way you write as good of code as possible. So that's my advice there. I know it's all about churning out stuff in hours, but still, you gotta write, good things. Akash, you want to know how to improve your programming skills? Program. There's really no way to get better at coding than by coding. So the more coding you do, the better you'll be at coding. So code more. However much you're coding right now, code more. That said, coding isn't the end all be all of programming. You also have to know how to talk to people. You have to know how to communicate in written languages. You have to know how to design things and use, good algorithms and stuff. So write as much code as you can, but at the same time, try to make sure that the code you're writing is good code and is as good of code as you can write. Put things up on GitHub or Bitbucket or whatever. Get people to weigh in on it. Tell you if you're doing well or not. If they think you're writing good code, then that usually helps a lot. So, yeah. Yeah, Dark Dev, thanks for the well wishes. If I do it, I will definitely need luck. I don't know. The biggest problem with like the Ludum Dares is you don't know what the theme is until it gets like announced, right? Like they don't bring up the theme until like the day of or like a day before maybe. So you can't be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then you're like, well, I can't do that because that wasn't the theme, right? And yeah, Dark Dev, we could talk about how to improve your skills for hours. There's so much that you have to learn how to do as a programmer. It's a very large, very large discipline. There's a lot of stuff required to do programming. So don't ever really expect that you're going to do everything in programming really well right at the beginning, because you won't, because that's not the way this stuff works, right? It takes a long time to do all of this stuff. Programming is hard. Programming is very slow. And learning to program is remarkably hard. So if you've learned anything in learning to program, you should like pat yourself on the back, because that's an amazing thing to have learned. Akash, you're on the basics of Python and you're not sure how to use return. Okay, so return takes data out of a function, right? So you've got a bunch of data churning inside your function. You know, you're doing ifs and for loops and whatever you're doing, and you want data to come back out of that function into whatever thing called the function. Return is what sends that data back out. So yeah, I don't really have a better way to explain that. Return is what ends the work. So Oscar asks, what are some useful tips to focus and constraint and endurance to code for the long haul? One of the things wow, excuse me. One of the things that I found to be handy if I know I have a lot of work to do, and especially if I have a well-defined list of work to do, is to use the Pomodoro technique. So, Pomodoro. Somebody will have something up about this. So yeah, the Pomodoro technique. Look at that. The Pomodoro technique. So the idea is that you have to have a good list of the work you want to do, and you have to break it down into small chunks. Chunks that you can get done in about a half an hour. So you're like, cool, okay, I've got my work that I can do in a half an hour. I've got 15 of these things, you know, whatever. Here's my work that I'm going to do. So you sit down and you set a timer for 25 minutes. And you work for 25 minutes on one of your things, whatever your thing is, right? And when your 25-minute timer goes off, you stop working right then and there. Stop. Take a 5-minute break. And then go back and do 25 more minutes, right? Now, every time you've done 4 of the 25-minute chunks, then go take a break, right? Take a break for, I don't know, 20 minutes at that point. And what you've done is you basically just got yourself to do 2 hours worth of work without necessarily feeling like you did 2 hours worth of work, right? You feel like, oh, cool, I worked for an hour. It works really well. It has this weird thing of like you don't notice the time passing, stuff like that. And you know, you want to minimize your interruptions. You don't talk to people. Well, you talk to people if you have to, but you don't like go check Reddit or, you know, Twitter or whatever. Turn off your email, stuff like that. And then having music on in the background that can drown stuff out, doesn't usually have a lot of words, is usually really good. Tiani recommends getting a productivity planner. if that's your kind of thing, then yeah, that's a good thing to work. But yeah, so you got to find the thing that works for you. Like, I can't do Pomodoros all day every day. They drive me absolutely nuts, and I will stop working and stop doing anything at all because nope, not gonna do the Pomodoro. But they work for small amounts of times. So yeah. Yeah, Dark Dev. Maybe we can team up sometime. That could be fun. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out what we're going to do, I guess. All right, but it is noon. It's time for me to call it quits for today. So I will see all of y'all next week. We will. I think I'm going to try and start the Android stuff next week, and I'm pretty sure Ben Deitch, another one of our Treehouse teachers, is going to join me. So we'll figure out what's going on there, and we will get stuff going, and it'll be fun, and it'll be awesome. So thank you all for joining me. I will see you next week.